All right, all right, all right. Good morning, crypto fam. Welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. I'm your host, Down to Crypto TA. Bitcoin over the weekend. We got a pretty decent sell off here over the weekend. It's not it's not too bad. But I'm gonna tell you right here. Okay, so all right, so we are trying to hold here around the 786 Fibonacci retracement. You can see that I pulled it from this low right here to this little high wick up here. But this zone that I have dotted out right here is a very interesting level of confluence right here. We're still above our 382 Fibonacci retracement level for whatever this is happening in here. I'm not really sure how to classify this at this point. And then you also have your value area high in here from the range. Right now, mine is extended out. I usually don't like for it to do that, but I left it on, and it still makes sense. You also have this little liquidity in here too. Now, taking this liquidity here, where we have these equal lows right here, that would put us below the value area high. But a sweep and go that could work. What's interesting here also with this 786 though is that we're around about our 40 Fibonacci, not Fibonacci, but round about our 40 on the RSI in here. And then you can see this pivot down here. So we are going to have some imbalance here, or discrepancy between momentum and price action in here. I'm already seeing it on the 4-hour as well, where we have this discrepancy between momentum and price action. I'm not using the RSI on the 4-hour to determine that. I'm actually looking at the CCI, okay? But here you are going to have a discrepancy between the momentum and price action to look for a bounce. Either it gets this bounce off of this 786, or it drops down here into this little dashed area here. And that's 75,780 to 74,909. You can also just turn on, like you can just draw your fib from this low to this high right here, which is this one here. And then you can see that the 382 is slightly below the 786, just sitting right there, right before you actually break into this box. So I wouldn't expect for it to be like a clean little tap and go if we don't hold the 786 and we get down here to this 382. I wouldn't expect for it to be, oh, I'm going to hit exactly 76,031 and then move away, because you can sweep and still tap into this dashed area right here that I'm talking about. So really use that area right there. Really use it. Okay. In the event that happens. Let's see what else I was going to look at right here. Oh, let me just go ahead and show you. Well, all the noise on the chart. Let's put this fixed range in here, so you can see where that value area high comes in at right here. Right here. This box right here. And the way I drew out this area right here, for your knowledge, let me hide that away again. I'm gonna hide this away. The way I drew out this box is simply this pivot here to this pivot right here on a line chart. Just those two right there. And just highlighted it so that I know exactly where I'm looking for it to get to. So I'm not looking for more damage than that in the current state. And another reason why I'm not looking for more damage than that in the immediate, which, Bitcoin gets a bounce, probably put in a lower high, is going to be because of how fast we've come down here. So the speed at which the CC has reached the bottom, that tends to give an indication that we're going to see a bounce from in here as well. So this is it where we're at right now. This should be it. Because that change happened rather quickly on this change right here. Um, and I don't believe we're in a position where we would get an expansion. But I'm just going to turn this on so I can see. Possible. I mean, it is possible that we could see some sort of an expansion if we did. It seems unlikely for this expansion, but I guess we do need to cover a worst case scenario would be that. A worst case scenario would be that um, that price drops into here and doesn't see the bounce, at least back up into here, at least back into here. Let me just stretch these out a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, at least back into here. And then, like I said, and then maybe the expansion happens then. So it could be like the first tap down here doesn't do it. We get a little peak back up, and then the second time we come down, you don't want to fade it. Okay. You don't want to fade it. You don't want to be in the way of it, trying to long it on a second go round. The first go round, it might just work out from what I can tell, but a second attempt at it, eh, let it go. Let it go. Because if you're down here and you're trying to catch along and it does it that time, you get yourself hurt. All right. You've heard me say that before and you've seen what has happened. You would get yourself hurt. So we can see that we're starting to let me put on my ribbons right here. So you can see right here where we've already, I don't think we exactly tapped into it, but like I said, around about that 40 is here at this red line right here. All right. So MACD is converging with this 9 EMA. It hasn't crossed over yet, but there it's relatively close. So it is converging. Um, it's not looking too good. I mean, but we knew that the daily was not looking too great. Um, you can see how close we are to crossing below that zero line right there too. So it can get real bad. I think we're gonna see one more little bounce in here, one more little bounce in here first, and then that next attempt down is gonna be the one that's gonna wreck bulls. Okay, that's gonna be the one that's gonna wreck bulls. We might even see an expansion on the 15-minute time frame right now as well. Um, where we are right now could lead to an expansion exactly from where it is right now. Exactly from where it is right now. But we'll see. This could be what would probably push us into that. You know, if we're not holding here, 786 zone right here, if we're not holding here, then that could be what actually pushes us into that 382 whatnot. Because we do have low volatility in here on the 15-minute time frame. We do have low volatility. So you can see it right here. So that could happen. That could happen. Just be aware of that. I did enter a long position. But my stop is in place for it. I'm actually gonna take a decent hit on this long, position if it don't bounce. So, I'm repeating myself about not getting in the way of it. I'm not allowing myself to get in the way of it if it does decide it's going to expand right here, and I don't think it's gonna do too much damage if it does, 'cause I can see, the 4-hour also starting to curl in. So, but, still, just don't get in the way of something like that happening. Even though I'm going to be looking for the bounce, and I'm likely going to re-enter on the long position, but I put a little bit more money into this long right here. but it's not looking too favorable right now. I could go ahead and close it out. I'm still gonna take a hit. I won't take as much if I close it out now. So just being transparent about it is it's really a tough place to it's not a high probability. I give it a C. I give it a C setup right now, a C setup. Um, so here on this 4 hour, um, we have a regression line across here on our RSI, but we're not moving towards that right now. We're not moving towards that at all. And then right here, you can see how we have been dropping, 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 but we haven't seen that same effort being put up right across here. The same effort does not exist across here. And this all happened during the weekend, so some of it is very questionable. Some of it is very questionable. Um, yeah, but nonetheless, yeah, you see us rolling over on that 15-minute time frame, what I was just speaking about. So I really hate to get this money up. I'm gonna tell you, but it happens. It happens. I really hate to give this money up. um, Yeah, let me draw out those fibs here. I don't think we need this anymore. Let's just do away with that. All right, so let's just put on our 382. That's what I want to look at. Extend this over here. So we got our 382 right here. All right, and I'm gonna just go ahead and draw out the one that we're currently flexing on right now, which is just our 786. Go ahead and I'm just gonna put a box around this because so we know this top side of this box right here is simply where we have our 786 tap at, and that was our first little, you see our little bitty pathetic bounce off of that tap right there. Then of course our 382 is sitting right here. All right. And as I mentioned, we do have the opportunity for the equal lows in here. Which would put us on this trend line right here. And then our not seven, but our value area high, which I'm gonna have to go to. Yeah, it looks like we might be expanding a little bit. It's not actually expanding, but we are rolling on that Bollinger Band. Below that standard, well, we're tapping on that standard deviation too. So um, I'm gonna do this from the weekly. I'm gonna do it just to here. Hold on. We break above it right here. Yeah, we broke above it right there. I think we did. Actually, let me check. Let me just check. Yeah, we did. Okay. I don't want it to go any further than that. Oh, okay. So that made a difference. That made a big difference. Ooh, this is more so down there where we have our golden pocket retracement at. So um yeah, that's not the same. That's not giving the same vibes. It's not giving the same vibes right there. That's yeah, that's where we got the golden pocket um down in here. I'm gonna leave it just like that though. Doesn't have to be my end all be all. Um, but if you use it the other way, then like I said, you would have that value area high there. I prefer it like this because that's the range that I was working with. But just for the full range, value area high sits right in here. All right. SPY, if I give any validation to the stock market, any validation to the stock market, SPY gets an expansion below this 731 right here. Okay. So 4-hour time frame, 1-to-1, tap right there. Um, I drawed out this gap right here from the daily, I believe. Yeah, so from the daily time frame, I draw out this gap right here. I'm not saying that it's about to come down here because I don't see that happening right now. There's still a lot of strength behind the SPY, but it could start to get an expansion below here. So from this, according to the 4-hour time frame, according to this 4-hour time frame, it could start to see an expansion down here. It looks a lot like Bitcoin's daily time frame, which is why I'm bringing it up, because you can see that SPY is also around the same level in here on momentum that Bitcoin is on its daily time frame. So in that case, uh, that could be the start of the weakness in here. Now, weekly time frame looks absolutely amazing on SPY, not so much on Bitcoin. I'm gonna take it back over there and talk about that. But weekly time frame looks amazing here on SPY. So no doubt that this is gonna range around in here a little bit before it actually sees some big rollover on it because I don't see that right now. But it looks a lot like Bitcoin. If I put the ribbon on right here, you can see where our 40 would come in at right here, about 730. So it would start to expand if it dropped below that and cross into here. So, and then maybe, just maybe, let me just pull a fib on this. This is going to be a huge difference. And I may actually have to raise this one up. I don't think we're even anywhere near a 236. Nah, we're not even anywhere near a 236. So that could be about the extent of this. I'm gonna actually cancel. I'm gonna drop this. I could raise it up though. That Fibonacci retracement, but if we do start to see an expansion in here, you do like Bitcoin though. You get a small little bounce in here, continuation down, but doesn't look shabby on the weekly time frame. It still looks really really good. It's just this time frame right here is hinting at the possibility for some more of a, a speedy sell off over here on the 4-hour time frame. If I was on the daily time frame, you can see it doesn't match here on the daily time frame. It doesn't. Like, we're just trying to get started. So that's why I'm expecting for something to take place off the 4-hour, but it's just attempting to get started here on the daily. And then of course the weekly time frame, like that looks absolutely good. So we did cross above here. We'd be looking for a swing failure here on SPY, but just a 4 hour. So that could help confirm that Bitcoin will get a bounce somewhere around about that 786 to that 382 Fibonacci retracement level um, for a lower high, and then a continuation to the downside. That might do something for us. Yeah, you can see we already did our swing fail in here. It took us a long time to finally get here on that for that swing fail. It did take a long time. What I was actually looking for, if it didn't, the next thing I was going to be looking for was going to be a push up into here, to our trend regression line across here, diagonal line. But we're even back below the mother bar over here. From where we did get the breakout of it. We're back inside of that. So this has already been invalidated. So I'll let that go. And we're getting that expansion, it seems. Crazy thing is, where I have my stop loss at is exactly where I think it might reverse from. It's weird to do that, but I don't want to take any chances on it. That's the max I'm willing to lose, and that's more than I want to lose. So. Mm. As you can see us trying to push down. We don't have a V on this end over here, so it's not aggressive right now. I caught this one. Which one was it? I caught one yesterday. A little small move up. It might have just been this right here. It might have just been that. I haven't tried to take too many shorts. I haven't actually tried to take another short because I already have my short from higher. So I haven't tried to do that. And I didn't want to do it around here anyway, around the golden pocket of 786. But all the markets seem to be rolling over a little bit. Everything seems to be rolling over a little bit. Oil, of course, got another bounce up. Yeah. Oil, you can see bounced up. after it got this little breakdown in here, which I didn't even expect for it to break down. I actually thought it was going to push up. And then we saw it wasn't being aggressive in here either, but oil is bouncing back up. I already shared with you on SPY in here on the potential expansion right there for SPY, SPX, S&P 500 right here. We were talking about this situation in here, which is something that I took from this 15-minute time frame last week, and we broke up above it and we gapped down below it to the low, and now we're starting to break that bottom down there. The Qs, trend line right here on the Qs is being broken right here. I think the same thing for NAS as well. Starting to see this breakdown below this trend line right here. But like I said, when you zoom out and yeah, we had the swing failure here on the NASDAQ right here, but we bounced up again, and I want to call it a wonky head and shoulders or something like that. But let's see on the daily. I just wouldn't look for too much damage. I just wouldn't look for too much damage. It's still, this thing is high in the clouds. I really wouldn't look for too much damage, but we'll see something. We will get something, but not too much. So I just think a bounce is going to come in here today. NVIDIA already seen a little bit of a bounce there. AMD, this thing looks like it's trying to flag out. I think, let me see. Let me turn this off though. That's it's a tiny bit annoying. Yeah, this might be getting ready to bounce back up, flagging out, gonna bounce back up. You know, AMD, Intel, same thing for Intel. Let's see if it's going to be a lower high, or if it's, you know, going to be a bigger push to the upside, but definitely getting ready to get some sort of a bounce out of those. So not too shabby, not too shabby. Qualcomm there. Let's get right over Apple. Oh no, I was on Apple. Okay, it was ARM I skipped over. Yeah, NVIDIA, like I said, didn't look too shabby. I had to move over to this pane right here on NVIDIA, but you can see that we did just push back into our ribbons here, which is simply our 12 and 26 CMA here. MACD below zero on the 1 hour time frame anyway. On the 1 hour, you can see it right here. Below zero right here. On this 1 hour. And this is going to look a little different just depending if you're on the 1 hour time frame. We had this ascending trend line up. But if you move to the 4 hour time frame, it's going to look like it's sitting on the second one right here. And this is put on 24. I'll show you how I got to those right here. Actually, let me go on the weekly. Make both our lives a lot easier. But that's this trend line through here. And then this is the second time that we, this is after we broke through this one. The first time we got a rejection off of it for the third time, or the second time, first time since we connected the dots on it. And then this one is just simply the one that broke through here. You draw it off of this one. You can see how it's drawn from that point to this point right here. And then that's where we topped out at here for NVIDIA. So, And you can see how we're bouncing off of that one. Hey, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Yeah, so you're seeing a little bit of a correction on in the stock over here in the stock market and all that. But it still looks fabulous. So, but I can't say that, we can use it to kind of figure out what Bitcoin might do, but it may not work exactly. Then over here on gold, you can see gold. Gold was looking weak anyway. Um, but the bigger picture could be something totally different. But gold barely hanging on around this this line right here, barely hanging on around it. Remember, I got stopped out of the gold position right here. Once it broke here, that stopped me out, and I shared that with you. And I am not going back into gold. Period. Period. I'm not going back into it. Nope. Not going back into this mess. Can have it. Somebody can have it. I was about to talk about something else and I cannot remember what that something else is. Could it have been important? I guess if I lost the train of thought I know what I was going to talk about. Our USDT. All right, so boy, USDT, you can see we're back here at the top side of this. This is the flag that was built inside of our broadening top formation right here, which the bigger pattern, this bigger pattern with the V right here, is a bearish pattern. But we knew that we could get a bounce. I thought maybe we tap into here, the top side of this box right here, and then bounce away, but we didn't do that. We already covered that anyway. And yeah, I mean, we're at some sort of resistance in here. We were saying we'll see if these crosshairs will actually hold USDT dominance back. So this could indicate the bounce for Bitcoin as well. But if this thing just breaks through here, then oof. I know everybody's waiting on $40,000 Bitcoin, $50,000 Bitcoin. I know everybody is waiting on it. And it can happen, obviously. It's the market. It's the market. But we are at some potential resistance here for USDT dominance. So we'll see how this goes. If it just absolutely breaks through here, then yikes. Yikes. I don't know what to tell you. But some slight resistance right here. Some sort of resistance is right here that we're tapping into. Yeah. May the force be with us. The absolute baller word. Do you think FOMO is responsible for at least half of your decisions? I gave that a sometimes answer. Sometimes. While this information in here has not updated just yet, you can see we're pushing closer towards a negative flip here. So gamma flip negative in here, which means, which I mean, it would imply, you know, dealers are net short. We do push into here. We're not there right now, at least not as far as it was concerned on Friday. But you know, this information has not been updated in here just yet. It hasn't. We're quickly heading there. Quickly heading there. So I just want to throw that out there to you. Whether or not these gaps play out or not, that's going to be something different. This VWAP. Yeah, this came off the starting point of this low. So the low that why did I put it on that low? I don't know. I don't know why I put it on that low. I put it on that low. Or CME is hanging on to that as well. So I mean, we're in a strong area to see a bounce. We're in a strong area to see a bounce between that 786 and that 382. Maybe even that value area high if you pull it, if you extend it to the end of the range and not like I did it. I mean, we're in a zone where some sort of bounce is likely to happen. It's likely to happen. I mean, most of the information is going to come out when market opens, which I won't be here for. I just want you to bear those things in mind. And like I said, the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin is also tightening down the volatility. Like, and I'm gonna go back over there and talk about it before I carry on right here. But anyway, holding on to this VWAP right here from that low down there. Holding on to this VWAP right now. Got a few gaps in here. Not all gaps are gonna get filled immediately. Usually, you know, the little common gaps, they will get filled immediately. So it's a possibility on the bounce. Like I said, we come up and we fill in this one right here. It's a possibility that we just do this right here and then continue to roll over. It's possible. It's possible. This one right here, this little tiny gap up here. Make of it what you want to make of it. I do tend to look at those too, but it's possible that we could, and then like I said, they continue to move to the downside. I know we still have gaps down below us that, you know, everybody's been a little frustrated about, which was different. Those gaps were different. I think that, well, I remember one of them being a breakaway gap, and I expressed about the breakaway gap, but we're at some support in here. All right. We're at some sort of support. Seriously, at some sort of support. And then here on the 4-hour, volatility is starting to wane off a little bit for the downside. You can see how we didn't get an expansion, but we kept rolling. Like momentum was decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. Well, volatility was decreasing and decreasing and decreasing and decreasing because, you know, Bollinger Bands is a volatility indicator. And you can't really tell it from the standard 2. I had a standard 3 on earlier. You can see the curvature here off of the standard 3 though. You can see the standard 3 starting to curve up. So that's my indication that we're starting to limit our downside potential in here. At least for the moment, we're starting to limit our downside potential for the moment. But prior to that, it was just dropping. So it's tightening down a little bit now. tightening down a little bit. I thought it was going to be successful in here off of that golden pocket bounce, especially when we got the closure above here, above that standard one. But like I said, this just kept declining. So it never curved up after that. And then they just dropped it. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. Anything can happen. Trying to find a little bit of opium for bulls and bears. Let me check to see what my VWAPs will look like if I mean, I just use the daily. Sometimes, I just use a different time frame. I'm gonna put one here. That's just the one that got us started. I'm gonna change the color on this one. We'll make it a little lighter, and then I'll make that one darker so I can tell the difference. Let's see what we're working with. Oh boy. See, this is around about the 382, it looks like. I don't want that. I'm gonna take it if I have to, but I don't want that. Turn that off for a minute. There's too many lines. And it's sitting directly on that 382. The irony. The irony. Clean on that 382. Okay. And change the color to red. I can see it a lot better. All right, so there's that VWAP. Straight hope USDT dominance rejects. Straight Straight hope it does. So a lot of altcoins actually pumped over the weekend. I don't dabble with the altcoins too much. Not too much. I do still have that spot position open on virtuals though. Do still have that open. Which I did it as a spot position because I didn't want to deal with the hassle of losing some money trying to take a leverage trade on it because it's following Bitcoin. It has no strength against Bitcoin. Has zero strength against Bitcoin. And it's just gonna do whatever Bitcoin does. But I'm still hanging on to that one for now. Still hanging on to that one for now. I didn't do that second entry on it. I can't because I see it until Bitcoin actually finds some sort of strength or something. I can't do it. And then again, I told you I also know how much I'm willing to lose on that one. Since it is spot, it's not gonna be a whole lot. I'm giving back some of my Zcash gains that I made a little bit on this virtuals play. But virtuals is at my line in the sand, and beyond here, I have to let it go. And that just is what it is. I'm not gonna hold on to this altcoin if it can't find the strength against Bitcoin. I like the 4-hour, but I have to let it go. Even with all the bullish divergence it has on it, I will have to drop it if it can't pick it up. Because that bullish divergence can go on forever. But this is the line in the sand for me, and it's this ascending trend line right here. This one. This is it. I thought about it beforehand. I was like, this box is going to be it. And I've already pushed it to say, you know what? It's spot. You're not losing a lot on spot. You didn't open up a huge position on it. I was very careful about not opening a huge position on it either. So I pushed it here. I won't push it any further. This is it. If it can't hold here, then I have to drop it for sure. For sure, it's gone out of my portfolio. Like I said, I like the 4-hour, but if it can't find some strength against Bitcoin, I'm gonna have to drop it. It has bullish divergence. It has some bullish divergence. You can even see it here on the RSI. Like it's not, the RSI isn't dropping lower. It's a bit exaggerated here. But yeah, if it can't do it, then I'm gonna have to let it go. Have to let it go. It'd probably be the every time I say try to say probably a slur. Um, it'll probably be once I let it go, it might bounce. But yeah, that's it on that virtual situation. Hyperliquid, still managing to show some strength here around the 382 Fibonacci 382 50% retracement zone in here. Remember, I tried taking a long off of this. I did manage to get up into here, but I was wanting to wait for it to break out. I moved my stop loss to break even on it, and I got stopped out. So I'm not attempting any more of this. That was the first time I decided to do it with a leverage because initially I took it from down here and I took it spot. I took it from right here, rolled it all the way up on spot. Actually, not all the way up. I cashed out in here. I cashed out in here, and then it pushed up a little bit higher. It's like I'm mean, probably flag out, and then I'll catch a spot position on it. I mean, a leverage position on it. But I was thinking that it was gonna, come up here and take out this high because it looked like it had the potential to do that, but it's showing a lot of weakness in here. So it's showing a lot of weakness, but it's still holding on to the 382 50% retracement, which is wild. That's wild. Uh, but maybe it just goes ahead and breaks on down from here. Breaks on down from here. Bitcoin struggling. This right here had popped up again. Whoever's trying to short this. Sheesh. And we saw this crazy mess over here that took place. I wasn't expecting that crazy mess, but it did have a 1 hour expansion. Didn't see it. I didn't see it. So I was looking for it to push back into the trend line and break down, but that had happened the same day that Bitcoin had got a pretty decent long here. Michael Marbury. I can't tell you to take a long. I can tell you what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. And it's like I said, we're bouncing around the 786 Fibonacci retracement. There's still a chance we could push into this 382. So, however you manage your risk, anywhere between there and here is something that I'm looking at. I'm in a long. It doesn't look like it's going to be successful. Um, but I'm taking a chance right here. My stop loss is in place. And yeah, so if I get stopped out, I might reconsider it maybe right here if it drops down to the 382. Just highlighting that we have VWAP here at 382. We have USDT dominance, which is at some sort of resistance point in here right now. So you can see USDT dominance came back up here to the top side of this little flaggy formation that we have right here, and it's tapping that right now. So if that holds out, then I mean I think that we might be able to scoop along out of the market. But I can't tell you whether or not to take that or not. It's just what I'm looking at. Between that 786 and that 382 is what I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin. Let's see how it goes. Volatility may not come in until market opens. I don't think we have any actual data. I don't think that we do. Look at Forex here. Calendar. No, we don't have anything anything happening this morning. We really don't have a lot happening this week. So Let me see how you did. I'm long on ETH. It's the struggle bus. Yeah, it is struggling. Um, oh, you cashed out most of your short. I haven't cashed out on mines yet. Because I'm thinking that we're gonna if we bounce in, we're probably gonna put in a lower high. Um, but oof, I do need to be taking some profit out of that short though. This might be the place, right in here. If we drop down to that 382, I think I will cash out. I'm gonna cash out some of it, and then we'll look to add back into it if if we're looking to get that bounce from here, from this zone. If we're looking to get that bounce from this zone. Yeah, I'm in the this long attempt for me is gonna cost me a bit. It's gonna cost me a bit. I was saying earlier, I think exactly where I have my stop at. It might just tap my stop, my stop loss and then bounce away from that. There's a good chance that it just taps my stop loss. I take my L and then it bounces away from that. But I cannot afford to lose any more than that on it, so I can't move it. Let's see. Um, you say you feel like the dominants are gonna switch soon. Looks juicy. Yeah. Are you talking about Bitcoin dominance? Or are you talking about USDT dominance? ETH BTC? Yeah. BTC. Hmm. Yeah, ETH BTC is at it's close to some support, but I think I remember you telling me about your short too, and your short looks pretty good. It wasn't you, it was somebody else that was mentioning the short last week. Let's see, ETH dominance is already If dominance itself is already on a support level right in here. If my levels are worth something, they usually do. But unless it rolls over and it absolutely nukes back down here towards the low. And then the one for this Bitcoin is slightly up above the level that I highlighted in here, which I mean, I don't know what to make of that. It does look pretty decent against Bitcoin right now, not by a lot, but it's okay if you use the big Beluga Smart Money indicator. It's very solid for showing volume chunks. Oh, okay. Let me see what that looks like. I'm gonna look at it on Bitcoin though. And you see it's called Big Beluga. And my typing is slow. What is it? Is it a trading view indicator? Oh, free on it's free on trading view? They probably have it written as something else. Oh, that's the person who created the indicators. Okay. It says the volume. Let me see which one would it be then. Never heard of Big Beluga, but okay. These are more popular right in here. Price action, smart money concept, the value gap order blocks, automatic variable index, dynamic average. I'm just gonna click on some of this person's stuff and see. It must be in a I have to come back and check this person out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back and check them out. Let me see one more of their indicators. This is the one I just looked at. Let me just see what this one looks like, the volume order blocks. I like that other one though. There's a couple of things you can take off the indicator to make it clean. Okay. I'm gonna look back at his stuff though. I like that first one. I'd actually store that one just so I can come back and see it. And the market isn't gonna let us do anything until market opens. But I really don't have a lot to say about the situation. I mean, really, like, this is really like the fine line. This is really the fine line right here. I really like to say the 786 is the fine line, to be honest with you. But if we do break down below the 786 and all, then I mean, 382 is there, and that could be a probability, but I really want to say that 786. That means that USDT dominance doesn't have success breaking out. That means we bounced away from our 40 in here. That means we bounced away from here. Instead, we're actually breaking through it. So just for a bounce back up into this box right here and then rejection. Also means that CME might have a chance of holding. Might have a chance of holding. That little push up into here and then continue to trend to the downside. Go ahead and add that other one here on CME though. Since that one was that, add this one. Change this one to the red. This one to the blue. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have a tendency to do that. I haven't been doing it too often here lately, but I've done it so many times where I've ran through a chart. It's been talking my behind off, and I'm not even on the chart. But seeing me, I just went ahead and added in that second VWAP in here from the low, because the other one that we were bouncing off of, that was the second pivot from the push to the upside. So and I just changed the color to show the one that I really want us to hold, which is around the 786 right here. Is this one, but no guarantee that it does. And then this one right here was more along the lines of the 382 from this actual Bitcoin chart over here. This one right here, that 382. Just a Binance chart as opposed to the CME. Like I said, maybe we fill in this gap right here and then continue to the downside. That's the low pivot right there. It's the low pivot. That's this one. Remember that squeeze we talked about? And I was saying to you on that trend line, turn this off. But I was saying to you on that trend line, once we break that trend line, then we break we release that squeeze, which is usually a bearish one. So it was the trend line. I'm just gonna have to do it like that. But it was this trend line right here. I left that in there. I didn't. So you can see how we released the squeeze that we had been in since back here doing shenanigans. A little bearish squeeze. We're starting to put in a nice bullish squeeze. It's not confirmed just yet, but on the 4-hour, I like the 4-hour. I like the 4-hour. I like the bullish divergence I see off the 4-hour. I like it, but we can go on with the bullish divergence forever. I like the quick set on the daily. I like how that indicator just kind of dropped all the way down like super quick. Like that. I don't like that MACD. I don't like that MACD. But I like how we've already reached the low down here, which could indicate an expansion. Like I said, could indicate an expansion, but I think that we bounce up first and then we see that drop down. I like the way that happened. I like that. I don't have it on here. I don't feel like trying to pull it up either. But we're extended. We're actually a bit extended. It doesn't look like it because we haven't moved too far, but we're a little bit extended on this daily. And then was this a ABC? Maybe. I don't think that we have a bear flag anymore. I think I mentioned that to you a while back. I personally wouldn't consider this to be a bear flag anymore. It doesn't mean that price can't still drop down and take out this low, but I just don't think that it's a bear flag anymore. Like, um, I just don't think that this is a bear flag. It was never a bear flag on the weekly time frame for me, period. Anyway, I said that I never thought on the weekly. If you're from the daily time frame, then yeah, you can see it. From the weekly, yeah, nah. I don't think that this is a bear flag anymore. Uh, two things can be true at the same time. That it's not a bear flag and price can still drop down here. You know. Yeah, that was my thoughts on it too. My thoughts on it too was that over here it was a W here on the weekly time frame. It didn't come across as a bear flag to me on the weekly, and that's how I represented it. As soon as I jumped over to the weekly time frame before we got the move, it's like, you don't have a bear flag on this time frame. There's just no bear flag on this time frame. But like I said, two things can be true at the same time. It's not a bear flag, and price can still drop, but it's definitely not a bear flag. From the daily, I can get you looking at it and thinking that from the daily, and initially, um, I do believe that this was a bear flag, but at some point it stopped representing that. It's too long in time. It's too long in time. It really is too long in time. Like the structure has warped, completely warped. So it just can't be that any longer. It just can't be that. You don't tend to have, you see all this space in here? It doesn't tend to look like that. And I'm not trying to be textbook either, but it doesn't tend to look like that. Like no part of the bear flag tends to look over here. That looks correct. Choppy. Over here, it doesn't. It's not choppy. I mean, going up, but it's not tight chop. This is extending. So I don't see it. Waiting on the little guys to catch up. I hope the bull deals play out, but I like the 4 hour. I just don't see it giving. I just don't see it giving right now, but I like the 4 hour. I don't know how long they'll make us wait, but if S&P and if because I don't know. Let me see what that is. Stock market just doesn't look trashy. It just doesn't. It has some weakness. Again, the stock market has some weakness, but it doesn't look trashy. This doesn't look like it gets too far. Uh-oh. Got some short-term volatility, but it just doesn't look like it gets too far. Can't stand the Dow. I can't see that one right now anyway. I can't see. Only the SPY really. The only thing I could say would be hurting the SPY is gonna be semiconductors, which look good on weekly time frames, but they have been diverging for a little bit here. The bear divs. So some short-term weakness there. Take a look here at applied material. This could be another indication, just some short-term weakness right here. I mean, the semiconductors is pretty much running the show. So you got your AMD still rolling. You got Intel still rolling, but they all look like they're going to come to a bounce. It's definitely not mathing. It's not mathing. I like this. So, I mean, they could just be flagging out for that bounce up. And we already looked at NVIDIA on that. Qualcomm, same situation. They all look like they're about to bounce back up. Maybe not put in a higher high. Maybe not. Maybe put in a lower high and then continue down. So that bounce is definitely there, in my opinion. But yeah, semiconductors, if anything hurts the market, it'll be that. We have that on Bitcoin. That's crazy. That candle. Coinbase did all of that. How much is this candle? Wow, one candle? That's wild. Ooh, I did not mean to delete that. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. Let's see, actually. Let's see. Almost there. And this is what we were talking about the last time. Dropping back to either hold that 20,066 or you didn't want to see it do more than 50% of this order block right here, which would be 1977 is what we were looking at in here last week. Either back to there, 2066, or on a deeper retracement, no more than that. It's still pretty far off. Showing some strength in here, but whatever Bitcoin does, Ethereum is going to do 10-time fold. So I would give that a little bit more of a chance to drop into there. Let's see what it's bouncing off of. Maybe that's pretty close to about that 50. So hopefully it does bounce away. You know, manage to reclaim back into that golden pocket, but I'm still kind of stuck on this. Just this part. Unless it outperforms Bitcoin, which it wasn't looking too shabby against Bitcoin. It really wasn't. And on the larger scale, actually, let me see that where we at here. All right, so we're back inside of our zone. Wanted to make sure I was kind of saying that right. Looks different from here. Let me try to fix it. All right, I'm gonna have to stick with that weekly on that. Looks like it's directly on it. It might not be bad. It holds strength against Bitcoin. I think you're onto something there. What was it you missed? You entered your ETH position, right? Oh, okay. Maybe you haven't entered it just yet. Okay. All right. I don't want to get excited about these little moves. I hope it works out. Oh my gosh, I hope it works out. Let's see what is in here. I ain't gonna be able to draw that right. Let me just, I was trying to see how it reached off of that. Didn't do good. I was gonna try for another 20 in 2030, but it's trying to run on small time. Okay, yeah. Yes, it's not quite ready on that daily, but Ethereum, it's not quite ready on that daily. That was a big drop it had got. I'm not gonna even get excited off of that move. Not at all. They were doing something similar to that over the weekend. The market hasn't opened yet. ATM Empire collapses into bankruptcy. What is that? Let's see what that did for USDT dominance. Oh, I see SPY got a little bounce up right there too. SPY got a little bounce up. I don't trust it. NAS, a little bounce up. USDT dominance with a little rejection off of that level we were looking at, that little trend line. It looked like that was it. Liquidity grab, maybe. Yeah, a little liquidity grab. It is expanding to the upside, but I don't know how long this lasts. $18 more minutes on this 4 hour before we get this candle close, which is the only time frame I like right now, with the exception of that fast set on the daily 4 hour. It took me out of some worries on my loan, but I don't know if I trust it. The liquidity is a little higher up. Looks like it's this top right here. Fair value gap. So Lord have mercy. Oh my gosh. Reject right here. Hmm. That just reminded me of something else I was looking at. On the, what was it? It might not have been SPY. I don't even see that it was something I was looking at. That, interesting. Okay, I know what it is. I'll come back to it before I leave. If this is gonna be a swing fail, I mean, right now it is a swing fail. Either where we're trying to hold at right now, which is like the standard deviation 2, or standard deviation 1, which is like 77,000, would have to hold. Otherwise, you know, this is just shenanigans. I don't know about this. It would have to be, right now, it's sitting on top of standard 2. So if it rolls back in, wouldn't want to see it do any more than standard 1 for a continuation if this expansion is going to be real. I'm waiting on the 4 hour to actually expand, which that's a time frame I actually like. I just don't know about this. I didn't see a reason. I don't see the trend. I don't see the trend. I see that candle pump, but I don't see the trend. Yeah. Let's check. I have to pull it from there. See what we got. Take this background out. I'm gonna switch this. I'm gonna save it. Let me change it. I don't like the shading in the background. Yep, I want to replace it. Some 382 rejection too. I know I could have pulled it from here, but it's not really a pivot. But if I did, like you were thinking, I think that we're over. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yep, you would have been right on that. Yep, absolutely right on that. That's exactly what that was. Let me just put it back. Yep, you're absolutely right on that. TNT. Change this yellow for the liquidity because we didn't manage to get to it. And then we want to hold. What is this? Yeah, we will want to hold here. If we dropped in, we want to hold a 50. I think that lines up with that standard. That would be below it, but a wick won't hurt, right? It would still be below it. So maybe, Good call, Michael. Good call. A slow drag down. Probably slow drag down though. Lots of volume underneath. Okay. We get some good volume off of that. Do I have volume over here? I don't. Let me see what that volume look like. Thank you for bringing that up. Ugh. That's better than what we have been getting. So we slow it down too quick. Hmm. One minute and then get that 8 hour. See what difference that makes. And we fully got that squeeze on the 4-hour now. So this would be the first candle indication of it. And I like the 4-hour, but they probably won't give us anything until market opens. But we actually, that candle just started. Let's see if I can't. No, it's not showing that we got it. How is that possible? I swear I'm looking at it. Maybe I'm wrong. I swear I'm looking at the squeeze on the 4. It didn't show up though. It didn't show up. It's not showing up. Okay, I'm gonna let it go. Saying it's not there. Promise I was looking at it. I'm trying to get that liquidity. I swear I'm looking at a squeeze. I don't know. It just didn't show up. I don't know why. Didn't show up on that 4-hour. All right, so we held it. That's cool. Maybe just to grab this liquidity. I don't know if I trust it. Because it's before market opens and we don't have any data. I don't know what just happened. Nasty little candle. Michael, it would be my luck. If this thing was to keep going, it would be my luck. Really. I need some luck right now. It's one of those trades where you're praying. You're trading off of hopium. That's how I feel like I'm doing right now. I feel like I'm just trading off of hopium right now. I would love for it to work out though. No lie. Please work out. We got USDT dominance at resistance, potential resistance anyway, if it holds it down. 4 hours been putting in bullish divs all weekend long. I swear I see a squeeze on that 4-hour, but it didn't register. Which I'm still just looking for a lower high. Even in that case, I'm still just looking for a lower high. Even has a potential bottom signal on that 4. It just printed. CME VWAP. Impossible gap fill. Extended on the daily. $78 too. I like that. Into this little gap right here. It's about, yeah. Okay. Well, let's see how it goes. It is holding the expansion. I don't know. I sure want it to work out. I'll slide this up. I know about the liquidity coming into that. Put this out of the way. Line up like a pine tree though. I do like that. All right. All right. How's the ETH doing? Ooh, that's good. Come on, Betty. We hitting. Slowing down again. But if I could get a TP out of this, it would be. I like the first one though. I like the 78 too. That is actually a good area as well. But if I could get out right here, I'd be happy with that. I think right now this is like the top side of the Bollinger for the 4-hour. Yeah, top side of the Bollinger for the 4-hour. Remember the low was trying to curve. We couldn't see it off of this one. Could see it off of the 3 though. But the momentum was starting to pivot on the 4, or at least yeah, the volatility was starting to cool a little bit to the downside because we weren't getting that. We were just sliding straight down. So if I could get something like this, that'd be great. This would be the 78.2 right here. And the 78.2 is, hold on, how are we looking at it over here? The lower, this pivot right here, which I can't really tell where it's at over here. But it's probably a 382. Let me just see. It's a little higher than a 382. But the 20 SMA would be that 78.2, 20 SMA possible rejection point. If it does, and we're looking for a continuation, then it would, sometimes it looks a lot like that, where it comes back and tests that and then pushes up. But if we do break through there, which we're resisting right now, then 20 SMA. Put in a rising wedge or something. I probably could have seen that faster if I'd have pushed out over here. That Bollinger Band squeeze. And this one is standing between the 2 and 1. The extension. Yeah. It looks like hopium. It really looks like hopium right now. Inverted. You talking about this one right here? This head and shoulders right here? I was looking at that. I was a little hesitant of claiming it, but yeah, you can see a bit of an inverted head and shoulder right here. You definitely can. That would make sense with volume. With the volume spike that we saw too for the breakout. Oh, on the bigger time frame. What are we talking when we say bigger? So we're not talking, I don't see it daily. If anything, on a daily, we might get a head and shoulder. Let's see. Let's see. I think you're looking at the daily. Oh, 1 hour. 1 hour. Okay. That's what we're looking for on the 1 hour. Right in here, maybe. Or you're looking at this down here. You're still looking at this. Trying to see if I see it anywhere else. Hour. So we tap that liquidity. Not quite. We still can push up into here a lot more. We barely grabbed that. At least looking at coin glass, you can see right there. We didn't even get into this. A big note right there. That's at that VWAP right there. That liquidity is at the VWAP right there. I'd be stopped out if we come down here. If we were to come down here, I don't know. I would definitely fire off another long. I'd take another chance. I hope we don't. I hope. I mean, I don't trust this move right here, but because I don't know. I could go ahead and shave something off right now, make it less less destructive on a move down. Less destructive on a move down. I think we're coming up the head. Naked. Is it a naked? Well, NPW. Draw the flag. And it's a flag from the lower time frame because this looks like a rising structure right here. Is it from a lower time frame? I don't like this. We just broke down from this. If it Yeah. Kind of wish I'd have taken that. Oh, just a hedge. I have one on another account, but not on this one. Should have taken that. Yeah. That hopium. It's definitely the hopium. We get this momentum to stick, which, ugh, like I personally wouldn't want to see us coming back down below what we dropped before. At least not on the 15-minute. Over here, we've already broken down into it. Over here, we're still above it. Like I would like to see us stay in here and just keep trying to grind higher. That'd be great. Stay in between here. Because we got a decent 1 hour bullish divs right here. The bullish divergence right there. I think this whole this is more exaggerated down here, but you can clearly see that bull div right there. And then the 4 hour, ask me, you don't see it right here on the RSI, but this is not giving the same energy. And that's been all weekend long. Oh, nice push. Yikes. Just had more liquidity build in to the top side because it wasn't that far extended out before. So I don't really know what's happening. But you can see how that liquidity grew out. Remember, it wasn't this far out. This was larger. It just grew out. So, huh. Taken. Got it. Got it that time. All right. So that killed the rising wedge, I suppose. Well, we got a megaphone. I hate outside bars. Outside bar tends to indicate a megaphone, but I hate them. Ethereum still showing the rising wedge. Yeah. Yeah. Ethereum is still showing. Yeah. Oh, it's pushing though. Oh boy. Oh boy. Still rising. Still expanding. Oh boy, this Bitcoin move saved me. Mm. Yes, it did. Yes, it logged. Yeah, the volume. Volume is trippy. On the mega, because it can do it to either side, which I really don't like those. This is, oof. Right, we're about to tap into the golden pocket. I'm really trying to look at that top side of that mother bar. See, I mean, and at least until we start to fade on this, but we got the golden pocket coming up. I'm just trying to see if we're taking this liquidity off of this top of that mother bar. I don't think it really showed on heat map, or did it? Yeah, it shows on liquidation heat map as well. Just not one of the bigger liquidity levels. Obviously, it's in the middle of nowhere. I might be hitting your 78 too there, Michael. That's 78 too. That's going to be that 20 SMA. That would be nice. That would be nice. And this is basically back to the golden pocket of the, the golden pocket 786 down here. Our 8-ball, golden pocket 8-ball right here. Both of those are sitting right here. So, lower resistance as we push into this old golden pocket. Not the new one just yet, but the old golden pocket as we push into a lower resistance. Did tap out right here the last 2 times. I don't know what difference that makes right now, but we did tap out both times right here. I'm not gonna fade it yet. Yeah, I don't want to be crazy enough to fade it just yet. That was a golden pocket tap. I wouldn't fade it as long as it's, yeah, especially outside of 2. Not that you can't. I won't. But we are at resistance from the lows, prior lows, golden pocket. I'm just not going to fade it. Eve done slowed down. It still look good though. It look just as good as Bitcoin, if not better. What did that do to help me? It helped. It helped on that little spot. I didn't do nothing for that. Look like a SPY. I got to get out of here. I really appreciate you. Really, really do. So nice little rejection from USDT dominance right there at the top side of that trend line right there. I don't know how long that holds, but I'm bullish on the 4-hour. Just, whew, I hope it works. Nice push out of SPY. So no expansion coming in just yet. We have to drop below here to get the expansion. Nice push out of SPY. Nice mean reversion for now. For now, like I said, it looks good on the higher time frames. maybe we chop a little while before we get it. But market will open soon. See how real we are right now. To find out how real we are, but it is a Bollinger. There's a low range of volatility right here. You can see how I put this down here so I can see where the expansion right down here off of this standard deviation 2 right here to the downside. If it were to happen, I know that that's what's happening. Price starts to drop aggressively below that level. But we didn't even cross that threshold in here. Let me see what that did for, I know we looked at this and said that this right here looked like it was gonna probably bounce until probably bounce. Qualcomm, I don't think, yeah, Qualcomm did drop below there, probably bounce. And ARM didn't get all the way down there. But still, semiconductors still look a little I don't know. Still look a little, but flagging out, I suppose. Got a drop out of oil. We have to drop out of oil. How about that? Even gold saw a little bit of a more of a little bounce. I don't like it. I don't like gold. But it did pop up a little bit more off of that. If we're a bit extended, but it is a Bollinger Band breakout, so a squeeze to the upside. As long as we stay in between here, I might have a chance. Might have a chance. The daily is going to have to close somewhere in here or higher in order to invalidate the overextension on the daily time frame, because otherwise gonna look for another bounce. And again, if we were to see us roll over, I would keep in mind that 382 and that VWAP that's lined up with that 382 Fibonacci retracement. If we do see a drop, if markets open and then that happens, some good liquidity down here too, so it could be, I don't think we'll see a SFP from down here, but let me just zoom out so I can see what that would be. That was the one pulled from this low right here. It's the one pulled from that one. No, there's no SFP right there. There's this order block. And then I think that's the last one lines up with this liquidity off of the equal lows right here. But I'm not looking for that one. We're not looking for something that's how it could go. And so this one is just above that liquidity. Someone dropped this on this time frame anyway. But I would still keep that in mind just in case. Yep, just in case. Hmm. Thank you, Michael, for all your input too. Really great input. Really great input. I love it. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully we're all successful in our decisions. I hope the 4 hour starts to give. Won't really know till market opens, to be honest with you. But I hope the 4 hour continues to give. The 4 hours is the only time frame I'm banking on. That's the reason why I'm willing to risk a little bit more off of this trade. Um, but I'm not gonna be so happy if I lose it. I will look to re-enter though, and this would be where I'll be looking at if we were to come down here, which I don't want us to come down here. If we just topped against USDT dominance, that's great. Oil is continuing to roll over here. I don't know what the narrative is with that, to be honest with you. I don't know. Might have something to do with it, might not. But all markets seem to be responding right now to the upside. So I don't want Bitcoin to be the exception of not continuing to respond to the upside. So yeah, good. Good, good, good.